What's up, guys? It's Showtime's Fight Forum. You already know what it is, where we talk all things fights. This is your boy Showtime, and as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. So, if my voice sounds a little hectic, a little weird right now, it's because I lost my voice. One of my best friends had a bachelor party last weekend, and went a little crazy. Now my voice is completely gone for real. But I'm trying to fight through this because at the end of the day, we got some fights this week, and I'm very, very excited. This is going to be pushed a little later because, like I said, I didn't have a voice, so you really wasn't going to be able to hear me. I was going to do this in sign language. I don't know sign language. My fiance kind of does. She pretends that she does, but it is what it is. But let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty. This is UFC 277. All right, this is not a great card. Like simple and plain, this is not a great card. However, there are some important fights here, and I'm excited to see them. At the end of the day, any UFC fight, I'm down for it because I'm a UFC fan. I don't need to be a star-studded card for me to watch it. It might need some stars for me to necessarily care, but it doesn't take it for me to watch it. So I'm obviously only gonna do the main card. Like I said, the card in general. You got a couple decent, good fighters. You got Drew Dober, who came off a really good win, comeback win. That was phenomenal. But outside of that, like I said, that's the start of the card. So let's go right into the main card. So we're gonna start off with a light heavyweight fight, and that's gonna be Anthony Smith versus Magomed, Ankalaev. I don't know why I just had a brain fart there, but like I said, Magomed, Ankalaev. All right, so Ankalaev is just one of these guys coming out of this Russian factory, y'all. We already know with the game state. These guys are well-rounded. These guys aren't just like Khabib's, where they just grapple to death. These guys also have stand-up. We haven't seen much of a flaw since he's been in the UFC. He's gotten better and better each fight. Anthony Smith, we already know, is a guy that's game, good stand-up artist, decent on the ground, but that's not really where he wants to get you. He wants to land those big bombs. Fearless, creative strikes, and he can get the finish. I mean, we can't sleep on it. He's as tough as nails, and he seems like a good dude. But yeah, it's a tough fight for him. Let's just keep it honest, man. There is a path to victory, which we know is landing that big that big right hand, or landing a solid kick. But Ankalaev, he's in my opinion, he's next at 205. I think that he's gonna eventually be the next champ within the next year and a half, and I don't see Anthony Smith being able to stop him. I do think that he's gonna shock him on the feet. He's gonna hurt him. He's gonna stun him, then he's gonna take him down, and he's gonna submit him. And I think that's gonna happen by the first round. I think it's gonna be a first round stoppage by Ankalaev, and then we're gonna have a new #1 contender outside of the rematch that we know is gonna happen because it was a freaking fire rematch. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun fight though. I do think it's gonna be an action-packed fight. Anthony Smith is gonna come in there ready to fight. He's gonna be wary of the takedowns, but he's gonna be ready to strike and bang as well. But Ankalaev is just gonna be too much of a dog for him in that fight. So then the next fight is going to be Alex Perez, who has not fought since losing to the champion Figueiredo. And I mean, he hasn't fought in 2 years. It's been 2 years since he's last fought. And at the end of the day, he is a very talented fighter, good everywhere. And one thing about flyweights is that, especially when you get to the top of the crop, to the elite, they're pretty much good everywhere. Like the lower, it's kind of like this. The lower weight you go, the less power they have, but the more technical they are. The less holes they have in their game, the quicker they are, the better their cardio. The higher you go, it gets a little bit worse. And then with that 125, you're gonna find guys that really don't have that many necessarily holes. Everybody has holes, but when we say they don't have holes, it's like there's nothing gaping. It's like, oh, that bro can't take down a single. He can't stop a single takedown. Oh, this guy can't get a takedown. Oh, his submission game is awful. It's like, no, they're pretty decent everywhere. They just might not be great every single way. Alex Perez is really good on his feet, and he fights with good combinations. And then he's going against Pena. Once again, I think he's on a 2-fight win streak. I think this is going to be an excellent fight, and I think it's going to be contender for fight of the night, actually. I don't know if people are, I might be the only one saying that, but I do think this is going to be a firefight. I think these guys are going to stand, and it's going to be a really good showcasing. Who do I have winning in this fight? I'm going to actually say Alex Perez. I think the 2-year layoff is actually going to do him more justice than it will hurt him. I think he's going to be fresh, ready to go, and get back on that win column. But I wouldn't be shocked if obviously he loses because Pantana's a very, very tough, talented fighter. So after that, we're going to have my boy, my man's Black Beast. He's back. Derek Lewis. and he's fighting Sergey Polanovich. So I am very bad with names, and also I just told you my voice is shot, so it's gonna be a bad night because there's a lot of names in there that are a little iffy. However, so going into this fight, we already know, man. When it comes to punching power, and there's a top 5 list, and I think I did make a top list, and I know I made a top 5 list. Derek Lewis is in my top 5 list of heaviest punchers in MMA history. We know what he wants to do. We know what he's gonna try to do, which is get the stoppage, and that is by blunt force trauma. This guy punches harder as hell. Like, you don't want him to ever punch you. So we know what that's gonna do. Now we're gonna go get Sergey, who can take Derek down. Now I would say he will want to take Derek down, because at the end of the day, standing with Derek is not the smartest decision unless you're freaking Cyril Gahn and you have stand-up like that can completely outclass him. It's very risky to sit here and try to stand with Derek Lewis, because one, submitting him is damn near impossible. Like, he's been submitted once or twice. It's very hard. 2, it's hard to keep him down. He don't believe in jiu-jitsu, and it's been working. I don't know how, but it has. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, the guy doesn't have the greatest cardio, but he's tough as hell. Like, it don't matter how tired he is, because he gets tired, he still throws. So I think Sergey's gonna have to take him down for 3 rounds, and he's gonna have to ride this whole thing out. You try obviously go for submissions, but is he gonna be able to do that? I'm gonna say that in this fight, he's actually gonna come up short. I think he's going to look great. I think he's actually gonna probably hurt him on the feet. I think he's gonna be able to take him down, and then somehow, some way in the second round, Derek Lewis is gonna come with a ridiculous KO and do his weird celebration and have a fire interview like he always has, and we're gonna be back talking about how funny Derek Lewis is. Yeah, it's kind of a typical Derek Lewis story. It's not like anything special. It's kind of like most of his fights go, but this is how I see it going. He's a tough fight for anybody at heavyweight, no matter who you are. Now, the next fight is going to be the co-main. And this is the interim title that really shouldn't have been an interim title, but it is what it is, man. I don't care. Whoever was going to win was going to fight Figgy either way, so who cares? And that's going to be Brandon Moreno fights versus KaraFrance, which is, by the way, a rematch. And I believe it was a split decision win for Moreno. I know Moreno won. I don't know if it was split decision. I got to fact check that. But yeah, it was a very close fight. Their first fight, it was an entertaining fight as well. Now, these guys both have evolved. Moreno has definitely evolved since that last fight, but so has KaraFrance. He's gotten a lot better, man. So it's gonna be, in my opinion, Kai's gonna try to get this keep it on the feet. She's gonna keep this on the feet. Even if Brandon can hang with him on the feet, I 100% know he can. However, Francis is much less dangerous on the ground. And Brandon Moreno has a really good takedown. He has great top control. Great cardio. We already know his boxing is phenomenal, and his chin is out this world. The punches he took from Figgy, what the hell? Get out of here. Who's really going to be able to take those? Not too many people. So, I mean, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I think it's gonna go 5 rounds. I don't think anybody's gonna get the finish, but I do think that we're going to get. I think we're gonna get an Anu regardless, but we're going to get a quadruplet fight, which will be the 4th time freaking Figgy and Moreno will fight again, because Moreno will win this fight. Francis is on a hot roll. However, I'm not as impressed with his line of victories as most people would be. And I do think that he's kind of, I ain't gonna say he's rushed in there, but I do believe that there was possibly better fighters under him that honestly could give Moreno a better fight, or a tougher fight, or a closer fight. I just think Moreno's gotten so much better compared to the last time they fight. And like I said, Francis has gotten better too, but Moreno has gotten dog level better. Like, yeah, I am the best at 125. That last fight between him and Figgy, man, I mean, we already saw the second fight when he beat him, like, soundly. It was like Figgy didn't look like himself. That third fight, Figgy looked like himself, and Moreno still arguably could have won that fight. That fight was very close, and Figgy shows that he is like top 2 in that whole division, and that's 3 years ago he wasn't saying that about Moreno at all. 2 years ago he wasn't even saying that. So yeah, I think Moreno's gonna be too much for him. Now the last fight, the fight that matters the most, which is going to be Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. It's a rematch. Obviously, we know what happened in the first fight. I already said this before, I said I was never taking Juliana. I don't think she could win. And I stand by what I said. However, I did mention some problems that could come with fighting Juliana Pena. One, I said this before. The last few times Amanda Nunes has fought at 135, she has not looked good. Cardio-wise, she has been awful. I mean, once you bulk up and you try to fight at a higher weight class and try to cut back down, you're a different person, man. Joy Jones has told people that, man. When you try to go up and then you try to go back down, you're playing with your body. It's not easy. You're an adult. You're an adult, bro. Once you put on that weight, you're at that weight. Your body doesn't want to go back down there. So it's difficult. She wanted to build her body to go to 145 to fight Cyborg. Now she's a big girl now. She really can fight at 145. It's hard to get down to that 135 and still be the same person. We saw she looked good in the first, but the second, that girl's worn out. And then you have to think Juliana Pena is the toughest fighter in women's division. You can argue with anybody, but she is extremely tough. She has the mental tough. I'll put her mental toughness up there with anybody. Anybody in the UFC, anybody in MMA. She is so mentally focused. The psychotic stuff that she was saying, nobody believed it. Nobody thought she was crazy. Oh, she's ducking me. I'm better than her. I'm gonna beat her. This, that. We thought she was crazy. She believed every second. And we know people who talk themselves into fights and then get scared and choke when they get there. She was the opposite. She genuinely believed everything she said. And when you had that kind of mindset to the greatest ever in your division, in their prime, or foreseeably in their prime, it's yeah, you got some cojones, man. So yeah, like that's a whole nother thing. But now we got a rematch. I seen pictures of Amanda. Amanda looks amazing. Like I haven't seen Amanda look that good in a while. Like she's taking this seriously. It's a 5-round fight. We already know I don't even have to wrap you up about what both bring. We already know toughness, wrestling, and she like the toughness and wrestling. Amanda Nunes, she has the power that can literally knock anyone out. She can knock a man out with that power. It's bad. How do I see this fight going? I think we are going to get an ending. I think Amanda's going to be focused. At the end of the day, the stand-up is still a big gap, man. I don't care how that fight went in the second round. Amanda was tired. I think she's going to be more calculated. I don't think she's going to grapple as hard and as much as she did before. I think she realizes that at her age, at her stamina, she pushes herself too much with cardio. That's not her game. When she got whooped by Cat Zagana, what did she do the first round when she won? She kept wrestling Cat Zagana. It's not a smart thing for her in her game. She can't take the wrestling. She's not a wrestler. She can grapple, but her forcing the wrestling action is not her forte for cardio. And yeah, she's gonna wear herself out. So yeah, I will say that she's not gonna try to wrestle at all. She's gonna keep her distance. She's gonna pick Juliana Pena apart. She's going to get a TKO stoppage by the second round. If it goes anywhere past the second round, it's gonna be a problem for Amanda because Juliana Pena is gonna keep moving forward and she's gonna keep pushing the pace. So if she does not win this fight in the first 2 rounds, she will lose by stoppage again because Juliana's gonna put a pace on her. We know this. That pace is gonna be too much for Amanda to handle for 5 whole rounds. It's either kill or be killed. And I think Juliana knows that, she senses that. So it's going to be a fun fight, and I do think that we're going to get a stoppage again. I definitely don't see this going to decision. I'm excited for that fight. I'm not the most excited, but I'm definitely excited because at the end of the day, these are 2 talented fighters, and at the end, it's for the championship. Tell me what you guys think, man. As always, man, thank you for watching. You already know what it is. It's your boy Showtime. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and be blessed.